you on?
All right. Is it about this one we're having now, or the one that you asked me
I
to come on?
said me and you have unfinished deal. You know we have unfinished deal. Am I concerned with your discussion with baby code? We have unfinished deal on the answers you gave
want
me.
to stay in for baby code.
You said?
I thought you want to stay in for baby code.
Did I
Since
say I
you
want
said
to
it
stay
is the
in for you?
question, there's no problem. Then we can go on.
Okay, so I'm not standing for anybody. I said unfinished deal. I ask you questions. Right. Yeah, let me the questions and the answers you gave me, and I said I don't want chit chat. I want us to deal with it. These are the questions. You said, let me see your answers. Sorry. So, which one of the article? I've lost the article. Let me see. Let me see the one. Which one is the? Okay, can you explain this passage? Luke 9:176 to 79. You said your answer was that is about. Let me see the answers you gave me. You said the passage was about Zechariah.
Yes.
Prophesying about his son, John the Baptist, what to do. Is that right?
Yes.
And did you read verse 78 to 79? Is it about John?
Are you leaving the first question? The first question, are you satisfied with the first question? The first answer I give to the first question.
Can you explain the passage? The first question is, can you explain the passage Luke 1:76 to 79? That's the first question.
Yes, and I've explained that it was Zechariah prophesying. And in the prophecy, he said that the Lord will send, that the Lord will send a messenger as a forerunner to clear the way for the Lord. So the question is, to clear the way for the Lord to do what? Is it for the Lord himself to come or for the Messiah to come? And my position is that it's for the Messiah to come. And this is what happened. God sent the Messiah in Jesus Christ. It's not God himself who came down. So that's the explanation I give, right?
Yes.
So it was John the Baptist who was to serve as the forerunner of Jesus Christ. And his mission is to clear the way for the Lord. Now, clear the way for the Lord to do what? To send the Messiah. And that's what I answered, not for the Lord himself to come.
Okay. I was asking you that the first time you have not explained verse 79 and 80. Verse 78 and 79, sorry. You explained 76 to 77. You said it's about John. Fine. I'm asking you 78 and 79. Can you explain that? Or should read it for you?
Read it for me because I don't have Bible at hand now. Can you read it for me?
Through the tender mercy of our God, verse 78. Through the tender mercy of our God, whereby the day spring from on high hath visited us, to give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace.
Hello?
You can't hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Did you hear what I read?
No, read it again. Once it's like the line is breaking.
That's 78 and 79. That is why I was expecting your answer. Through the tender mercy of our God, whereby the day spring from on high hath visited us. Verse 79, to give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace.
So this means that God did not leave them, that he remembers them. That's what it means, that God has come to them. Now, when they say God has come, what does that mean? Does that mean God has to physically come? No. God in the Old Testament has said in many places that that God came from Seir, or God came. It does not mean that himself has to come. Remember, in the book of Chronicle, it was asked, or it was put in the rhetorical question, that would God come on earth and dwell among men? And the answer to that rhetorical question was that, nay, even the heavens are too small for his
heritage.
God will not himself come down, because this is what the Bible already says. Hello?
Yes, I'm with you.
So even if you see where it says that God has visited us, it does not mean that God himself has come physically, because in the Old Testament, like I explained, God has been coming, going. But how? Of course, by sending his messengers, by sending his angel, by sending his help. All these means that God is coming to us. But that does not mean that God has to come physically himself. So that's the explanation I give.
What about 79?
That those that sit in darkness.
To give light to them that sit in darkness. Don't forget, you said it's about Zechariah and John. What is that? What does that mean?
You don't. Oh, you are missing me completely.
You said this. I gave you the verse 76 to 79. You said the verse is about Zechariah and John. That is your answer.
Can you
listen to me, please? Your answer?
Who is making that prophecy?
You said Zechariah is making prophecy about John.
He was not saying. That's what I said. I said it was about him making prophecy, saying what would happen, right?
This is your answer.
Hello.
Let me read the answer
it's
for
like
you.
Let me read
your answer for you. Let me read your answer for you. Let me read your answer for you. The passage is about Zechariah prophesying about what a son John the Baptist was to do.
Yes.
Now, how that verse 79? Explain that verse 79 in relation with your answer.
You said I didn't answer it in written form. It is now you are quoting the verse, and I'm explaining, and you are telling me that I was saying it was about Zechariah, and you said I didn't answer at first.
You said the verse is about. I gave you the verse. The verses. You said it was prophecy of Zechariah talking about his son John the Baptist.
You are not getting. You yourself. It's like you're not getting what you said. I did not answer this particular verse. That's just right.
Your answer said the verse is about Zechariah and about what John want to do. How did John give light to the people of Gentiles?
You see, it's like you are not getting my word. So
that is why I'm calling you, because you are the nightmare.
The prophecy was made by Zechariah, telling us what John the Baptist was. That is the explanation. Oh, you see, you are coming in. If you won't allow me to answer, then why do you call me?
Go ahead.
Hello. If you
ahead.
allow me to answer, then you should have called me. So now listen. What I said was that Zechariah was prophesying about what his own son, John the Baptist, would do. And that is he to be forerunner, making the way for the Lord to send the Messiah. That is what I answered. Now you now come that I the one talking about God has come to us and that those who sit in darkness will be set free. This is what you are asking right now. So you are not assuming that I was linking that answer I gave in the first. I was taking it to the one. That's the mistake. You just ask this one now, and I'm giving you the answer to it.
I'm not asking this one now. I gave you the reference. The reference is there. That means you don't read the question.
No, I read the question.
The verses cover 76 to 79. I'm not asking new question. I'm not asking new question. I ask you, explain these verses for me. That's why I said, did you read the verses? You said yes.
You said now is that I missed the last verses, and you just brought it up.
So no, I didn't. Big deal? Excuse me. I didn't just brought it up. Read the question. The question said, can you explain the passage Luke 1:76 to 79? I am not just bringing it up. You omitted it yourself. It's not a new question. It's not a new question. That's why I said I need to engage you, because you don't answer the question.
You have it up now.
I'm not bringing it up now. I asked the question. I gave you the verses. You omitted it yourself. That's why you want to call you. That is why I am calling you, so that I will hold you to the. I will hold your feet to the fire for you to answer the question. Because you are the nightmare, Mr. Nightmare. I am scared.
You said I don't answer.
Yes, you said I don't answer. That's why I'm asking you. Answer the question now.
But now you are trying to link my answer to what I have answered in the first, which means you are not consistent.
Answer the question. Hello? Verse 79. Show me the answer. Where did you answer the question? Verse 79. Where is your explanation about verse 79?
Haven't I answered now? I said, if God said he will come, that does not mean he will come physically.
I'm not talking about God coming. Verse 79 is not talking about God coming. He's talking about it will be a light to the Gentiles, people that sit in the light, in the darkness. Please, how does that correlate with John the Baptist?
You are not. It seems you just come here to argue unnecessarily.
I am calling you to expose your answer. I am doing that right away, Mr. Nightmare. I am scared.
You are just going to argue, not to learn.
Yes, I am learning. I'm learning from your answer because I am scared. Should we go to the next question you answered? If you cannot answer that question.
You are not learning at all.
Okay, can we go to the next one? So far, you are not answering. Can we go to the next one you answer?
Listen to me.
Go ahead. I cannot force you to answer the question. I've been asking since. You are blaming me for the answer you refuse to answer. The question you refuse to answer. You are blaming me.
Does not mean he himself will come physically, because we have been told that even the heavens.
You have answered that part. You have answered that part. I'm talking about verse 79.
Thank you. I have answered. Thank you.
Yes, verse 79 is where you have not answered. Verse 79, and I read it for you. You have not answered the part.
For me slowly. Read 79 for me slowly.
Okay. Let me read again so that you will not say I'm bringing it up new. To give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace.
Yes, this is what Muslims also believe, that Jesus, the Messiah, was sent to guide people. He was a guy he was a light to guide people onto the truth. And so there is nothing big deal about this. He was just to guide people. Yeah, people was in darkness. Many have lost the true message of the Mosaic law, and the mission of Jesus Christ was to come to remind them of the true message of the Mosaic law.
Doctor, please. Are you saying verse 79 is about Jesus? Are you saying verse 79 is about Jesus, not about John again?
Who said it's about John?
You said it in your answer that the verses is about John, the prophecy of Zechariah about John. What is going to do?
Oh, you are conflicting again. This is my problem with you. It seems English.
You can abuse me. Go ahead and abuse me. That is why I said
I'm sorry for saying this. Do you actually understand English?
Put the record straight, and you are doing the record. Put the record straight. Are you saying the verses is about John the Baptist and Jesus? Are you changing your answers?
English, please answer. Do you understand English?
Am I speaking with you in Arabic? Leave my understanding of English. Answer the question. Your feet is on the fire now.
What you are explaining. You are explaining that you don't understand English. Because if you do, you would not be bringing this up anymore.
Because your answer does not. It's not said it was about John. Now I'm asking you, is it about John or Jesus?
You are the one confusing the answers.
Okay, where have you answered before? Where is your answer before?
You see, should I go back again? Should I repeat from the beginning?
Is your time. Show me how you answer the question. Show me.
Should I start from the beginning?
How does John the Baptist fulfill the prophecy? That is my question. Answer it now. It's about John. Now you are telling me it's about Jesus again.
English language is your problem. Now let me explain to you like a baby. Can I go on?
Answer the question. You have all day. That is why I'm calling you. Answer the question. How does John fulfill the prophecy?
Let me now explain to you like a baby. Since that's how you want it to be.
Answer the question. I am calling you so that you can clarify your answer you gave me. You shadowed your shallow answer. Now dig deep and answer the question.
since you have
Explain how John take the gospel to the people in darkness. Go ahead, answer the question. Please, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
A baby, since you have chosen to be a baby.
Answer the question, please. Answer the question.
The answer that I gave you in the written form was that John the Baptist was prophesying about his son. I mean,
John
Zechariah was prophesying about his son. Let me. Oh, you see, I don't know what else to do. I'm explaining.
You said John. It's not John. You said Zechariah.
You are interrupting. And later on,
I'm correcting you. You made a mistake. I'm correcting you.
Listen. What I said was that Zechariah was prophesying about what his son, John the Baptist, was to do. That is to make the way for the Messiah to come. This is the answer I gave you. I did not say that this particular verse that he will be guidance was about Zechariah or John the Baptist. I didn't say that. Yes, I didn't say that. So you are just bringing up this issue of what it means that he will be light or guidance. Was it about Zechariah or was it about Jesus Christ? I never said it was about Zechariah or Jesus Christ. No, I never said so. So I answered my written answer very correctly. And this one that you are bringing up, I never said it was about Zechariah or John. It was about the Messiah, and his role was to guide the children of Jew because they were in darkness. So he was to guide them. So I don't see any big deal about this. Nothing big deal. You are not trying to create a mountain out of this. Hello?
Are you, excuse me, did I give you Luke 1:76-79 before this time?
Hello?
Did I type Luke 1:76-79 before now? Did I give you the question? Explain Luke 1:76-79. Did I ask you to answer the question, to explain it?
You gave Luke 1:17 to what?
Did I give you Luke chapter 1 verse 76-79? Did I give you that verses?
76-79.
And where is the answer about verse 79 in your text? Show me the answer in your text. You said you answered. Show me the answer in verse 79 in your text. Show me the answer now.
Okay, thank you. You just called me and draw my attention that there was an answer I didn't give. I appreciate it. It's not as if I was saying that.
I'm just bringing it up. I'm just bringing it up. I didn't just bring it up. You omitted it.
You call my attention to it.
Yes.
Why are you making something out of this as if it's something big? I just
where I call your attention to it.
I just answer all the questions. Let's move on. Or else you are not ready to learn.
Let me read my attention. Let me read my attention. I call your attention to it, but you ignore it. Let me read my attention to it. Let me read in my response text. The text, let me read the text for you. You will see that I've explained to you, but you ignore it. Let me read the text for you. The text said, he will prepare the way for the Lord. Please, where did you see what you type? B, you ignore the Gentile part and do not forget what you typed yesterday. You said it was about Israel nation. Please settle the discord between your answers. You see that I call your attention to it. I'm not just bringing it up.
It seems you and me are not on the same page. It seems you are confused completely. Honestly,
I'm not confused. You are the one that gave a confused. You are the one that is not sure of your answer because you are hiding under his finger.
You correctly in my written form, but you draw attention to a particular verse I didn't answer. And now I answered it.
I'm drawing your attention to it. Fine. Now you are telling me you have answered it. Where is your answer? You said that you accept that you omitted it. Fine. You should have accepted that you omitted the question. You omitted the verses. It's not that I'm just bringing it up. You omitted it. I'm not just bringing it up. So you now tell me verse 79 is also about John or Jesus. That is the question I'm asking. Is it about John or Jesus? And if it was about John, how was John fulfilling the prophecy?
Now you are asking but you are already assuming that that's what I said, right? You see?
I'm asking because
that's what I said. Now
I said you omitted it. You said no. You didn't omit it because I didn't get it right. Now I'm asking you. I'm holding your feet to the grass. That's why I'm calling you because I like it when I call you. instead of typing, because in type you can type whatever you like. In talking, you will be careful of talking. Now, is it about John or Jesus?
I just explained. I don't know how many
Please go ahead.
times
Please
I have to
help me
explain.
again. Teach me like a baby.
Okay.
Is verse 79
Listen.
about John or Jesus?
I wrote about the text, right? You said I didn't answer this part. Now you are asking this part. Now let me answer. Please don't go
I'm not
back to
asking
the
now.
part I
I
answered
asked you,
anymore.
you omitted it. Stop saying I'm just asking now. That is why I hate about
Now, listen,
you. And I'm not asking now. I've asked you initially. You omitted it. Go ahead and answer the question. Stop saying I'm asking now.
Can I go on?
Please go ahead and ask the question I've asked you long time ago. Answer it now. I'm not just asking.
It was about the Messiah to guide the children of Israelites because they were in darkness. Period. So what's the big deal about this?
Please. About Jesus, right?
Yeah. To guide the Jews
out of the darkness. Okay, no problem. It's about Jesus guiding people who are in darkness. So the Jews are in darkness, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but number two question. Did Jesus ever mention he will be killed as ransom for the sin of people?
And I gave you and I answered that, right?
In text, yes. You answer in text.
Yes. So
you want me to give you your review of your answer?
I answered it.
You want me to give you your answer? You said?
What's the problem you have with my answer?
No, if you cannot answer the question, let me give you your review.
No, what's the problem you have with my answer? That's the question. I answered you.
I've not even
how to answer.
I
answered you. So
yes, you answered the question the way you like. Yeah, let me read your answer for you so that you will know that you've not answered the question at all. Let me show you your answer. Sorry. I don't want to miss your answer, please. I'm checking the text because that's why I say I will call you so that we'll be on the same page. You are the one answering the question. Oh, sorry. Oh. Where is the answer of this man? Okay, let me see.
I can put the same answer if you want me to. So I answer. You don't tell me how to answer. You can only ask me.
I'm not telling you how to answer. I'm not. When you answer verse 79, did I argue with you? But what I'm saying is that you stop blaming people for your error. You are the one that omitted the verses, and I show you that you are telling me I'm just asking. That is what I'm correcting you on.
What you are saying is
your error is that you omitted the part, and I'm notifying you that you omitted. You are not telling me I am the one that is responsible. Now this is your answer. Let me give you answer for you.
You were assuming that I was linking my written answer to the one that I missed.
Let me give you answer for you. I'm there now. This is what number 2 you answer. You said this is what the canonical gospel apart from Luke gospel claim, which contradicts what Jewish Bible already prophesied about the Messiah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did Jesus ever claim he will be killed as ransom? That is the question. I'm not asking you, did he contradict what other people said? Did he say it in the Bible? Did he say it? Did Jesus ever said it?
What did you just read now in the answer? Read it again.
You said it is what canonical gospel apart from Luke gospel claim.
Yes. Is that one answer?
I'm not saying did they claim. I'm asking, was it written there? Either they claim it or not. I'm not asking. I'm asking,
what do you understand by that's what they claim? What do you understand by that?
You see, you can claim like you are claiming now. You claim to be nightmare. You claim to be nightmare. Whereas you are shaking. You are shaking night. Excuse me. You claim to be nightmare, whereas you are shaking night.
Not to tell me what
claiming something is different from is it there? That is my question. I'm not saying did they claim. I'm not asking what they claim. I'm asking, is it there? That's my question for you. Is it there? Can we read it there? So if it's there, then we move forward. Stop saying they are claiming. You said
what they claim. That's what they claim.
Is it written in the Bible? Is it written in the Bible that Jesus is coming to die? Is it written in the Bible? I want you to confess. Is it written in the Bible that Jesus said he's coming to die for the sin of mankind?
That's what they claim in their written gospel, which contradicts the Bible, right?
That means it's written in the Bible that Jesus is dying as a ransom, right?
It is written written as a claim which contradicts the Bible.
Okay. Thank you for confessing that. So never in your life say there is nowhere in the Bible where Jesus said, I am coming to die for the sin of mankind. Never say that again, okay? Never say that again in your life. Now you confess that is there in the Bible. Thank you for confessing eventually. After I force you, that is why I love calling you. You confess eventually. Let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question.
It is a claim which contradicts the Old Testament.
Thank you. That is a claim that you can read it in the Bible. Stop saying it's nowhere in the Bible that Jesus said he's going to die for the sin of mankind. He's there. Thank you for confessing.
Why I not read the proof for me in the answer? Read the proof for me. Why I said so?
Now let's
please
read
it
for me. You have had your answer that is there in the text. Is there? It's written there clearly.
Read my answer completely.
Now,
hello.
Let's go to the next question.
Read my answer. No. Read my answer, which I gave completely, please.
The next question, sir.
No, read my answer, which I gave completely as to why I said it contradicts.
Your answer is your answer. You are free to read. That's why I'm calling you. You can give it again.
Just share.
Okay, go ahead and read it yourself if you want to read. Because I'm not here to read. I'm here to put your feet on fire so that you can say it yourself.
To present your case, why neglecting mine?
Now, no, but the next question.
No, sir.
We cannot move again. We cannot move, right?
You are not representing me fully in this.
Okay, is it not your answer? Okay, go ahead and answer the question. This is your time. You have all day. Answer the question.
Okay, thank you. So what they wrote down is a claim which contradicts what we know of what will happen to the Messiah. We know in the Old Testament there are prophecies that the Messiah will be protected, his prayer will be answered, and he will not be killed. He will not die.
What was in the Old Testament? I'm asking you, is it written there, either in the Old Testament or not? Is it written there? Answer the question and stop answering what I never asked you.
And I gave you
proof. You are answering what I never asked you.
Psalm 20.
You are only asking what I never asked you. You are answering what I never asked you. Is it written? Yes or no? Is written or is not written? Stop answering what I never asked you. Did I ask you what was the psalmist said? Did I ask you that?
You're not allowing me to justify my position.
Was it written that Jesus is dying for the ransom? Either contradicting the Old Testament or not? Is it written there? What is the question? Just answer the question and
ask me a leading question. Hello.
Answer the question I asked you. I never asked you about Psalm. I never asked you about
question.
I never asked you to explain Psalm prophecy for me. I am asking you to explain the prophecy in Psalm for me. I'm asking you, what is written in the Bible that Jesus is dying for the ransom of people? Is it written there? Is it missing or written?
You're not allowing me to speak.
Because you are answering what I never asked you.
Because you don't want me to express myself.
You are free to express it, but don't express. I'm not expecting what you, I'm not answering. I'm not expecting an answer.
The position I'm coming from. Because the question you are asking, the leading one, I need to expound on it.
You are expanding on what I never asked you. Did I ask you? When they ask you, excuse me, it's like your question, your response, doctor.
You are asking a leading question, and that's a bias. You know that?
It's like you asking me.
It's a bias.
Let me. You may say I'm biased because I don't want you to answer what I didn't ask you.
I asked you or no?
Excuse me. When you ask me a question about your Quran, that is it written? Excuse me.
It's a bias. Yes or no?
When you ask me about your Quran, that was it written in the Quran that Jesus was not crucified? I will not be saying, in the Bible, it was there that Jesus will be crucified. But in the Quran, did you ask me that? You didn't ask me that. I will only answer what you asked me.
Allow me to express myself freely.
You are wasting my time because I didn't ask you what you're answering. The question is it there or not? If it's there, say yes. If it's not there, say no. Don't go to what I didn't ask you.
To expand upon.
You said, I'm not asking you to expand. If I need your explanation, I will ask you. I'm the one that is asking the question. I don't need your expansion. I don't need your expansion. Is there or not? Yes,
you are trying to have something from the public.
Is it there or not? That is the question. Don't go beyond your examiner. You are going ahead of me. You are going ahead of me.
Because you are answer. You know what a leading question is?
I'm asking, is it there? If it's there, say yes. If it's not there, say no. Or if you now want to express, say, okay, oh, I want to ask
Hello.
further. You want to go further. You want to dig deep further. No problem. You can dig further. But the answer, you need to answer the question first. You now say, please, I want to dig further. There's no problem, but you're answering another question. I didn't ask you. So, can I go ahead? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, can I go ahead? Because I love it when I call you. I love it when I call you. Hello? Number 3, right? Number 3. So, hello, are you there?
I can't hear you. It seems I lost you. Can you
Come
back?
Can come. You have a call, right? You have a call, right?
Yeah.
You didn't lose me. It's your call that came in. So it's not that you lost me. So number 2, you have answered that it is there, but it contradicted Old Testament. That is your answer. Did I get you correct?
Yes.
Fine. Now you don't need to explain B part because it's there. If you say it's not there, I will ask you to explain Matthew 26:28. But so far you agree that it is written, is a claim that is written in the Bible, though it contradicted Old Testament according to you. But it's written in the Bible that Jesus said he's going to die for the sin or for remission of sin of many. Fine. So B part is stricken out because you have answered correctly. Number 3, is Jesus salvation both to the Jews and the Gentiles?
I answered this in my answer. Right? Did you see the answer? What problem do you have with the answer?
I have to be scrolling. The reason why I don't want to be reading is I have to be scrolling up and down. The answer has been up, so it's a waste of time.
Once again?
Go ahead, answer it.
Okay. So I was expecting you to bring the problem you have with the answer.
I will be reading the question. I will be scrolling up again, scrolling down. It will be a problem. I will be looking for the question.
So what I answered, if I'm not mistaken, because now I'm just answering was that Jesus himself confessed that he was only sent only to the lost sheep of Israelites. He used the word only. So if he said he was only sent to them, then that means he was not sent to the Gentiles, and he was not sent to the Gentiles. It cannot be salvation unto them. So it's either the Bible contradicts itself, or Jesus was telling a big fat lie, or those who said he was sent to the Gentiles and the Jews were the liars. So I don't know. This is the confusion. This is the dilemma I said you have to explain. So it's either he was lying by saying only, or those who said he was sent to both were the liars. So it's not my problem. I have answered, and I'm representing the text as it is. Please do not say I am not representing the text as it is. Even in the book of Acts,
text yet. I have not given you any text yet. I'm only asking. I've not given you any text yet.
Even in the book of Acts, the disciple proved that they were only ministering to, even understood that Jesus Christ was saying he was only sent. Therefore, the Great Commission that go you onto, all. I mean, in that particular verse, Jesus did not mention the Gentiles. He only said, "I Jews in the diaspora." So that's what he meant, because that is what the disciples did after him. Otherwise, you'll have to throw all the disciples under the bus, saying they did not understand just right, and you have to call him a liar for saying that he only said that he was only sent to the children of Israel. So the dilemma is on your part to explain. Otherwise, because I can't see how you can.
I just asked a question. You are going overboard.
Was one of them under the bus?
Give a simple answer. Was Jesus salvation for the Gentiles and Jews? No, yes, or you just explain.
No, he was not. No, he was not.
That is the simplest answer you should have given me. Thank you. You are making it simpler for me now. Now, if you said no, you can explain Luke 2:30 to 33 for me.
Read it for me, and I can. Okay. I'll be happy to show to your face that the Bible contradicts itself. Read it to me. I'm listening.
I'm not asking if it's contradiction. I'm asking to explain Luke 22.
I'm honest. Read it for me. I'm listening.
For my eyes have seen thy salvation, which thou hast prepared before the face of all people. Master that, all people. 32 now. A light to lighten to the Gentiles, and the glory of thy people Israel.
Okay, should I explain?
Verse 33, let me finish. And Joseph and his mother marveled at those things which were spoken of him. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. So we can now see that the Bible contradicts itself, because according to Matthew, who have a different understanding from Luke, Matthew says that Jesus said of his own mouth that he was only sent to the children of Israelites. Now here comes Luke.
2:30 to me. I'm not asking you to explain Matthew. Explain what I gave you.
Okay. Let me explain short.
Thank you.
The Bible contradicts itself.
Okay. So from this Luke, it showed that Jesus was sent to Gentiles, right?
Which contradicts what Matthew says, and the Bible contradicts itself, right?
You have not answered the question. Is this text saying Jesus is sent to the Gentiles?
Luke says so, which contradicts Matthew.
Thank you. Luke said so. And it's funny that Jesus is sent to the Gentiles. Thank you. Thank you.
Matthew.
Now, you said it contradicts Matthew. What if I show you Jesus himself fulfill this claim by ministering to the Gentiles in either Matthew you claim?
Which he was a liar. For him to say that he was
only not the one talking here. Jesus is not the one. Excuse me. Jesus is not the one talking here.
You cannot throw one of them under the bus.
Excuse me. Jesus is not the one talking here. Jesus is not the one talking here. He's a prophet that is talking here, talking about Jesus.
Which prophet?
Yes, the prophet. Is this? Let me see the name. Is this Simon or so? Yeah, and Anna, the prophetess. This is Anna.
So who would you believe between Anna herself and Jesus Christ himself? See, there's no way you not end up throwing them under the bus.
No. You ask a correct question, but don't give me. You ask me a question. Don't give me my answer. I'm the one that will give the answer. You ask the question. Should I answer the question?
Answer, and let's see how that would.
You ask me who is a liar. Don't tell me I should answer the question. I will put somebody on that. Don't tell me how to answer the question. You want me to answer the question. We should go ahead with the question. Do you want to answer your question that who is telling lie? Do you care for the answer, or I should go ahead with my question?
I'm sorry. I'm just wondering how you believe someone else rather than Jesus Christ. Go
Please,
on.
Answer you want me to answer you the question, or you are making comments?
Let's see how that will prove your point.
Yeah, thank you for asking the question. Bible is not just a verse that you just take out of their context. You explain Bible with Bible.
Now explain.
You ask me a question. You ask me a question. Excuse me. You ask me a question. Do you want the answer, or you should go ahead with my questioning?
Fine.
You want my answer?
Fine.
You don't want my answer, right?
No, you are explaining. But
keep quiet, let me explain. Keep quiet, let me explain the question for you. Then you can make your comment afterwards. If you don't want the answer, let me go ahead with my question. Do you care for the answer, or I should go ahead with my questioning?
Explain. I hope you allow me to explain.
When I'm explaining, stop interrupting me.
Go on, sir. Go on.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me. The prophetess never contradicted Jesus. It's you that is contradicting the Bible. The prophetess say Jesus is a light, is sent to the Gentiles. Even the angels say the same thing, that is a savior to the world. Even Jesus himself, fulfilling this prophecy, ministered to the Syrophoenician woman in John chapter 4. He ministered to the Samaritan woman. Even in Gadarene, a madman from Gadarene, they are not Israelites, they are non-Jews, they are Gentiles. He ministered to them. He ministered to many non-Jews. So to fulfill this prophecy, but where you are hinging is that when Jesus said, I am only sent to the Lordship of Israel, fine. Jesus, at that particular moment, he came as a man. He will not come to the entire world. He will come to a particular set of people. At that particular time, before his crucifixion, he was sent, he was ministering to the Jews, limiting his ministration to the Jews. Immediately after resurrection, he said, you, my disciple, go to the entire world. You can minister to anybody, minister to people. So it is a completed ministry, twofold ministry. First to the Jews, secondly to the Gentiles. It's not a contradiction unless you are seeing it yourself. So you can make your comment and then we move ahead.
Thank you. You said that it's like let me recall what you said. You said that he did not contradict himself.
I can say it again if you don't mind. I can say it all over again.
No, I understand that it was twofold prophecy that he was to. So sorry. I just remember that he ministered to the Gentiles. Then that means he was sent to them. No, just because he interacted with the Gentiles does not mean he was sent to them. Do you know why? Because even in the Mosaic law, there are provisions for the Jews to minister to the Gentiles, to love them, to care for them. So just because he ministered to them, caring for them, and not they were always coming to him, asking him, it was not him going after them. It was always them coming to him and begging him, do this for me, do that for me. In fact, sometimes he would say no, just like he said to that Syrophoenician woman that no, I wasn't sent to you people. So it was them always coming to him.
What if I prove you wrong that Jesus went to them?
Hello, he never went to them. It was them always coming to him.
Jesus went to
all those towns that hello, please let me finish. All those towns that Jesus Christ was visiting, the Gerasenes, they were Jews living also in the, remember, the Jews were not limited in one place. By that time, they were scattered because by that time they are split into two nations. The Babylonians have taken some to that way to Babylon, so they were scattered. So Jesus Christ was also going into these towns to look for the Jews, to minister to them. So whenever he goes, there will always be these Gentiles coming to him, and sometimes he will help them. That does not mean he was sent to the Gentiles. So in the Mosaic law, it's already there for them to care for the Gentiles. So, but if you say that this is the first fold, that it was only fulfilled by the disciples in the second fold, that also contradicts what the book of Acts says, because the book of Acts proves that Peter, who is now the foundation of what Jesus Christ left, himself proved that he was not ministering to the Gentiles. In fact, he was not eating food that he was not eating all foods. He was still keeping to the law. So is that a fulfillment of what he said when the disciples proved that they were not even ministering to the Gentiles? So it was not even fulfilled in the days of the disciples. This is the dilemma I'm trying to point out. Yes, it is in the Bible. It is in the Bible that, so it makes the Bible contradict itself. This is my whole point.
Okay. Now you made your point that Peter never preached. According to Acts chapter 10, what was the response of the Lord to Peter when he was confused?
Hello.
According to Acts, you are quoting the book of Acts that Peter did not want to preach to the. What was the response of the Lord for Peter, correcting him?
The response of the
Lord to Peter in that book of Acts chapter 10 you are quoting. What was his response?
I so much love this question. You see, we are told that the Holy Spirit in truly they are being guided. How come this will not be open to them? It means
I said, what was the response of the Lord? I'm saying, what was the response of the Lord? Did you hear my question?
The response of the Lord was that he was chastising Peter, right?
So why was he chastising Peter? If he was not sent to them, why was he chastising him?
The Lord was chastising Peter for thinking that he cannot minister to the Gentiles. So this proves that the Holy Spirit failed in its role, because the Holy Spirit in chapter 2 has already descended on the disciples to guide them unto all truth. Now we are now being told that they are not guided at all. So everything does not just hang together. So that's my plan with all these claims.
It's your problem, but it's not our problem. That is why we are inviting you to come and study the Bible. If you don't study the Bible, you are studying to criticize it. You see it as a problem. It's not a problem. So now let's go ahead. So far, you are seeing it as a problem. Thank you.
Yes,
You are seeing a problem.
everything
You have a problem about the Bible.
after
I'm
many
glad you can see that the Lord is correcting Peter to eat what he has prepared for him. Thank you for saying that. Now let's move to the question.
Which means that they never received the Holy Spirit. Which means they never received the Holy Spirit.
No. That is not the meaning. The meaning is that they were human beings receiving the Holy Spirit. Excuse me, you are misrepresenting our text. Excuse me, let me educate you on this. Excuse me, let me educate you on this. Receiving the Holy Spirit does not mean they are not human. They have left their human flesh. They are human beings. They can still act like humans. They can still think like humans. So having the Holy Spirit does not mean they cannot even sin. So stop misrepresenting our text.
The farewell message of Jesus Christ is what they mean. Oh my goodness. The most important farewell message, what they mean. Oh my goodness.
I'm not going to another part with you. Let's go to the next question.
All right.
Yeah. Is the Great Commission for the nation outside Israel?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
It's for nation outside Israel, like Nigeria, like America, like other countries.
Yes, and in those places, they were Jews that they were to minister to.
Okay.
And
so what if they minister to those that are non-Jews? Were they being stubborn?
You said what?
If they were ministering to non-Jews, were they stubborn? Were they doing contrary to the will of God?
Of course, they did not minister to the Jews. So I don't know what you want. I don't know what you are asking them.
You said what? Okay, let me go. You said yes, but the people. Thank you for saying yes. No, but you are saying the nation there should be the Israelites in all the nations, right?
Yes, they are Jews in all those nations.
Okay. What about Acts chapter 8, verse? That is number 5. I want you to explain, because this disciple of Jesus preached to non-Jews, and I have references in the book of Acts. I gave you about 4. Acts 8, 5-8. Maybe I should read it for you. Act 13, 45-47. Act 10, 1 to 1 forward. Act 8, 26-40. Can I read them for you so that you can see that they actually preach for non-Jews?
Hello.
Should I go ahead and read for you?
You don't have to read them. I understand where the author was coming from. Can I explain?
I'm asking. Were the disciple of the question is, please answer the question right away. Don't waste time. Were the disciple of Jesus disobedient to Jesus' command when they all preached outside Jerusalem to non-Jews?
They did not preach to non-Jews like I proven Peter did not.
Peter did not preach to non-Jews.
Yes, I have just shown you now that Peter was reluctant to preach to non-Jews, right?
Did he preach eventually to the Jews or not? To the non-Jew? You said he did not.
Which means they did not understand. Are you saying the disciples did not understand Jesus Christ?
Did he preach after he's been corrected? Did he preach to the non-Jews or not?
That is what the Bible claims after the Holy Spirit did not.
I'm not asking you what the Bible claims. Did Peter and the disciple preach to non-Jews? In your answer, you said they did not preach to non-Jews. I want you to read the Bible for me and you explain it for me.
Okay, let me explain fully now. Are you there?
I'm there always.
Good. So after Peter was corrected, so what the disciples said was that they heard that many Gentiles were converting to believers. So they heard from Paul. So they now say, that's a good thing. But this is what we are to give them. And they gave them a code of law that the Gentiles who are non-believers should not do this and that. So what the disciples did was that they appreciate people coming to become believers. Remember, even in the Mosaic law, Moses was not sent to the Gentiles, but they are believers among the Gentiles who want to worship the Lord of Israel, and they are accepted in the days of Moses. That doesn't mean that Moses was sent to them. So if we're accepted Gentiles who wants to become believers, that does not translate that Jesus was sent to them. Hello?
Excuse me, did the disciples of Jesus preach to non-Jews? That is the question. Did they preach to the non-Jews?
That's afterwards, yes. That's
They preached to
afterwards.
the non-Jews. But initially you said they did never, in your answer, you said they did not preach to the non-Jews. So you are correcting your answers, right?
No, I'm not correcting my answer.
In your text, you said they never preached to the Philip did not preach to non-Jews. Peter did not preach to non-Jews.
Yes, and I substitute my answer by saying that they are actually sticking to what Jesus Christ said to them. Yeah. Otherwise,
if they are sticking, Jesus said they should go to the entire world and preach. That is the last final going. Is that not sticking to the word?
In those places.
You said?
Where did he mention the word Gentile in those places?
All nations, either Gentiles or not.
They were also Jews in all nations. So my answer is specific. Where is the word Gentile in that passage?
Excuse me, you are getting the scripture wrong. When Jesus was so specific,
let me
respond to your query. Let me respond to your query. Let me respond to your query.
Solve everything.
Let me respond to that query. When Jesus was being specific, he was so clear that you should not go to outside Jerusalem to preach to the Jews. But now he did not give it any specific regulation. He said to all nations. He did not say those Jews in all nations, because that is why. How do we know it meant all nations? Acts 8:5. Let me read for you. Then Philip went to the city of Samaria and preached Christ unto them. And the people with one accord gave heed unto this thing which Philip said, hearing and seeing the miracle which he did. For unclean spirit crying out with loud voice came out from many who were possessed with them, and many take with passes, and they were lame, were ill, and they were was great joy in that city. There was a great joy in that city. So Philip was not mistaken. He understood the message of Jesus. Peter in Acts chapter 10 preached to the non-Jews. Paul preached to the non-Jews. Are you saying they are stubborn?
Hello, Paul. Paul himself confirms that Peter and that which means also the remaining disciple were to preach to the Gentile, while he is now assigned to preach to the that Peter and the other disciple were to preach to the Jew, while he is to preach to the Gentiles. This is what Paul said in the book of Galatians as well, Galatians chapter 5. Hello?
Yes, I'm with you.
So don't bring Paul as saying that even Paul himself proved that Peter was only ministering to the Jew, while he is now commissioned by what he claimed to be Jesus Christ on his way to Damascus to preach unto the Gentiles. So it was afterward.
Okay. Go ahead.
So afterward, we are now told that they were preaching to the Gentiles, even the Gentiles that were hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
So
go ahead.
Even the Gentiles that they still asked people to make them to follow the law, to avoid all these things, all these pagan things.
So you agree that? Let me read another verse for you before I make my comment. Verse 26 of Acts chapter 8. And the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise and go towards the south unto the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, and Enoch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem to worship. They come to Jerusalem. Philip was directed to go and preach to the Enoch from Ethiopia, Africa. So if you are telling me they did not understand the message or they are stubborn, that is not. But thank you eventually said they eventually preached, though you have some issue about laws and that. Fine, it happened in your Quran as well. The disciple of Muhammad argue about the Quran. So this is another issue. But did they preach? That is my question. Did they preach to the non-Jews? You say yes. Let's move to the next question. You agree with me now? Initially in your text, you said they never preached. That is what you wrote in your text. You said they never preached to the non-Jews. Now you are agreeing.
You are missing points.
No, I didn't miss your point.
You see, my point is to show you all the dilemmas as the book do not hang together, and I am correct on this. So that may be a claim but what we are saying, we are looking at the whole picture, and they don't hang together, and that's a big problem for you.
I love this next question. If truly Muhammad preached and continued the messages of other prophets, which of the prophet preach or believe on in a sensual or graphical paradise, as described severally in the Quran and Hadith? Which of the prophets preach about sexual paradise?
Thank you so much. I love this question as well.
Yeah.
You see, before Christ, right?
Go ahead.
People knew of the heaven. Right?
Hello.
Paradise. Thank you. Before Christ
Go ahead.
came, people knew. But
Hello.
we are not told that. Hello. Can you hear?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead. Hello.
I describe. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Can I go on?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello. Can I go on?
Yes.
Okay. I said before. Okay. I said before Christ, people have that they will go to paradise, but none of heaven. Only Christ came and told them that they would drink wine in heaven. That I don't think there's any the believers that they will have that they will drink wine in heaven. But Christ came along and made that known to them. So it's not telling them that in heaven there will be mansions, and I believe that might just be empty, because what is the use if it's empty? So there will be other things. And remember, when God created Adam, he didn't just leave him like that. You believe that God created Adam perfect, but even yet, God said to Adam, it is not good for a man to be alone. So that is the perfect situation, and that's what we should expect after everything. Believe. Otherwise, why would God give Adam a wife if Adam was already perfect? So now that Christ came along and told the disciples and told his believers that okay, there will be one, which is something that none of the parts, even in the hereafter, we are going to have wives as well. So if we are going to have wives, if he came and made this known to us, how should that be the claim? That would mean Christ himself contradict the past prophet, because none of the past prophets say that there will be wine in heaven and mansions. So if a prophet comes along and makes something known that none of the past prophets made known, that doesn't mean that that prophet is false. No, it's just revelation, progressive revelation. I believe you believe in progressive revelation. Now I do understand the point you are coming from, that Christ says that in the life to come, that people will not be married, not be given in marriage, but they will be like angels. So the way you look at it is different from the way I have asked many Christians and how they have reacted differently. And I believe in their own interpretation, because that was what was the ideal in the beginning, and that's what we expect after everything has been restored. So can I go on and explain what I believe and what others have explained to me what Christ meant by saying in that that people will not be married and be given in marriage?
That is the shocker you want to give me, but wait, I will ask you for the shocker. But the question is, I'm not asking for what people said. I'm asking, is there any prophet that said there will be sex in heaven? That is the question. Is there any? If there is none, tell me there is none.
There is none. Just like there is no prophet before Jesus Christ who said there will be one in heaven.
Thank you. There is none that promised 72 verses, promised sensual heaven,
just
promised
there is
all
none
these
that
things.
promised wine in heaven
Fine.
until Christ came.
Fine, thank you. Now, you are telling me that Jesus himself said that we are going to marry in heaven. That is what you said. Is a shocker you gave me, that he said we'll be like angels. Yes. Please go ahead and explain that part.
Thank you. Like I laid a foundation before that. What was the ideal before man fall? You believe, like you always said to me, that man was created perfect by God. Even at that stage, God said to Adam, it is not good for you to be like this. And he made for him a wife. So if God made for Adam a wife even before he falls, that means that was the perfect situation. And that is what we expect in the hereafter. Otherwise, the question arises, why did Yahweh give Adam a wife? Was it just to lure him to succumb to Satan? No, no, no. Because that was the perfect. Now, going back to the same Jesus Christ, that people will not be married in this. People will not be given in marriage, not be married. You see, that answer should be understood in the light of what the Sadducees asked him. Yes, that should be understood in the light of the question of the Sadducees. See, the Sadducees are hypocrites. They did not believe in the hereafter, yet they came with a question that is about the hereafter. And they give this scenario that there was a woman who married a series of men, and none of them have issue with her. So in the hereafter, which they did not believe in the hereafter, whom wife would she be? So they were asking him a difficult question. They want to catch because they know that it's not possible for a single woman to have multiple husbands, unlike a man that can have multiple wives. Are you getting me? Hello, are you there?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Thank you. So the question was tricky. So we should understand the answer of Jesus Christ in the light of their hypocritical question. So in the question of the Sadducees, there are some facts which Christ was addressing. The fact is that in the Mosaic law, a man, if his brother died without his wife having an issue, he must, because it's a law, he must marry the wife, whether he likes it or not. And that's a form of compulsion, a form of forced marriage. In the Mosaic law, people also
You have
have
to show me that part where the Bible said is he must marry the younger wife, younger wife of your elder brother. You will show me the verse. That Bible says
God
it's a
himself
must.
killed Onan.
The
Even
first
God
marriage. You
himself
have to
killed
show me.
Onan. In the book of Genesis, even God himself killed Onan, who was reluctant to marry his brother's wife. So if it's not a law by God, why would God kill Onan? So it's a law that must be
You have to show me the verse that says it's a must that he must. You have to show me the text where the Bible says it's a must. You are bringing another issue. You said there is a law that said it's a must, because when you are handling our text, I respect. You have to respect our text. Whatever the text did not say, don't say it. If you want to explain something, explain to man. Something the text said is a must.
Instruction of God must come with a
It's not
must.
there. If it's there, show me now where the text said you must marry it. You
God
must
said that
marry
you shall
the
not
wife.
kill. Must he say that you must not kill? He said you shall not kill.
Said thou shalt not is there. That one is there. Show me where the Bible said thou shalt marry the wife of your brother if he died. Show me now.
Leviticus. I'll get there.
So
So
give me the chapter. Give me the chapter. Let's read it.
let me finish my explanation, please, because I'm trying to build a case before you interrupt. So the Sadducees were insinuating something from the Mosaic law that a man must marry the wife of his deceased brother if she doesn't have an issue with him. So, and that's a kind of forced marriage. Whether he likes it or not, that's the kind of forced marriage. So Christ was now responding to them that they did not understand the scripture, because the manner of marriage in this life will not be like that in the hereafter, which means that in the hereafter, people will not have to deal with forced marriage, but they will be like angels. Now, who are angels? Angels are righteous creatures of God who are contented, who obey whatever God gives to them, who will not reject what God gives to them. This is why in the hereafter, we shall all be like angels, meaning whatever God himself gives to us, we shall be contented, we shall be happy with.
What if
Unlike
I
in
say
this
you are lying? What if I say you are lying about the text?
Let me finish. Oh goodness.
What
Can
if
I
I say you
finish?
lie about our text? Can we read the text together? The text did not say what
Then
you are saying.
at least allow me to
Can
finish.
we read the text together? Because
At
you are
least allow me to finish,
misrepresenting my
sir.
text. Can we read the text together?
Hello, please. At least allow me to finish.
You are misrepresenting my text.
No, let me finish.
The text did not say there will be marriage in heaven like angels. No, the text is saying you will be like angels where you will not be, you will not marry, you will not have flesh and blood to marry.
Let me finish, sir. Let me finish. Can I finish.
Because I don't
I'm
want
just
you
about
to
to
lie
finish.
about my test. I hate it when you lie about my test. The test is not saying what
You
you
can
are
call me
saying.
out when I finish, then I'll prove to you. You can call me out, and then I'll prove that I'm not lying.
Please,
But
I'm calling
allow me
you
to
out.
finish
That's
at
what
least.
I'm calling you out. Show me where the text said
Let me
we'll be like
finish.
angels, like marrying what God
Let
gave
me
us. Give me the text.
Let me
I'm calling
finish.
you
Let
out.
me finish.
I am calling you
So,
out. Don't finish anything. I'm
so,
calling you out. Show me
will
where
you
the
allow me
text said
to finish,
we
sir?
marry in heaven like angels. Show
Will
me.
you allow
Show
me to
me.
finish?
Please don't finish anything. This is where I want to drag your feet on you because you are the nightmare. You are the
not allow me to
nightmare.
finish.
You're able to answer now.
Hello.
Please show me where the Bible said we are going to marry like angels. And we will not. Yes, show me.
Let me finish. I will show you. Can I finish?
Please show me. I will be glad. Go ahead.
Okay. So that is so the answer of Jesus Christ should be understood in the light of in the question of the Sadducees. Otherwise, a lot of people are going to miss this. Now, let me be frank with you. I'm not saying that it is written categorically that people in the hereafter will marry Huris, but I'm telling you that if we should go by the answer of Jesus Christ in light of what the Sadducees asked him, then it will be wrong of us to come to a conclusion that they will not be married in heaven. Otherwise, we are going to contradict the ideal situation in the beginning that God gave Adam a wife while everything was perfect. So if everything was perfect in that life, then we should expect the same thing after everything has been restored back to the past situation. That's my point.
Let me know if I get you right. Let me make this claim. If I get you right, you said let me know if I get you right that in heaven, Jesus is answering that we will be like angels. We will not argue with God. We will be satisfied with whatever wife God gave us. Is that your answer?
That's what it means that we'll be like angels.
Okay. Let's read
Yes.
the verse. Chapter Matthew 22:30. I want to say you are lying about my text. You are lying about my text. Let's read it. Matthew 22:30.
Can I say something?
Say it.
We need to, you see, the reason why I came to this conclusion is that I led all the three passages in the three gospels.
That's good. You show me where you show me now. You have to show me.
If you let them out, you will find
can
that.
You show me? Can you show me? Because I have a text to show you now. Can you show me where you see this?
Now, go to where you said that I'm lying about. Go to where you said that.
Yeah. Matthew 22, verse 30. For in the resurrection, are you there?
Yes.
For in the resurrection, can you listen? For
I'm listening.
Matthew 22, verse 30. For in the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given in marriage. Can you see now? They neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. So you see now, you just misrepresent my text. You dabaru everything. They neither marry. They are not given in marriage. That is the text. Now show me where you conclude that you are going to marry like angels. Show me.
Yes. Can I come in?
I'm asking you to show me. You are asking me to come in.
Thank you. You see, what you are doing actually is that you are not answering the question. You are looking at the text in light of the question asked by the Sadducees. What you are doing is that you are being ultra literalist. And if I should do that, then I can as well say that when Christ said that whoever does not deny his father, deny his mother, cannot love me, means that we need to deny in the literal sense. That's what we are saying.
Show me what you claim.
The way you're looking at the text is not the way I'm looking at it. That's what I want you to understand. So the way people look at the text
said what you said. Show me. I'm waiting. What? Said that we are going to marry like angels and we'll be satisfied with the wife God gave us. Show me.
Okay. Let me prove this again once more to you.
Please go ahead.
Let me prove this. Okay. See, I'm explaining all this based on the overall picture of the Bible. In the book of Genesis, we are told the sons of
Show me.
The sons of God, whom some interpret as angel, came down and married some. So if angel would be so that I'm explaining this based on the biblical. So why do you think
You said you compare the gospel together. You are giving me Genesis now. Please show me from the gospel where the Bible said the angels will be satisfied by like angels having wife. Show me now.
No, I'm not saying angels have wife.
You said they are satisfied with whatever God gave them. They will not argue with God. So we will be like them. We will not argue with God. We'll be satisfied. That is your claim.
You don't get my
no,
analogy.
I asked you before I made this conclusion that is that your answer? You say yes. That we will be satisfied in heaven. We will not argue with God. We will be like angels. We will be satisfied with the wife God gave us. That is what you said. I'm not asking you where do you see that in the text, in the Matthew or Mark or Luke, the gospel you compare together. Show me from those gospel. Or else you are a liar. Show me from the gospel.
I am answering based on the question of the Sadducees, right?
Show me from the gospel. How did you come to that conclusion that we are going to marry like angels? We will marry and be satisfied like angels. We will not query God. Show me from the text of the gospel. Show me, please, doctor. Show me from the gospel where we will be married in heaven and we will not argue. We will be satisfied. Show me.
You see, you are not answering the.
Don't tell me what I am doing. Show me. I have given you all time. Show me. I give you all time. Show me. I'll be quiet now. Show me. Don't tell me what I'm doing. Show me. This is why I love to call you to expose your misrepresentation of our text. I'm glad I'm calling you now. I'm glad that I called you. Now in the text, you are saying that you have answered all the question. Now you can see that your answer is nothing. Show me from the text, from the gospel, that we are going to marry in heaven and will be satisfied like angels will not query God. Show me.
I'll explain to you, sir.
I'm glad that I called you.
In the light of the question asked by the Sadducees, that is the explanation. And it
now,
makes sense.
Me the part. Read from the text. Read from the text. Show me from the text you want to read. Don't you know the text?
I have shown you what it means to be like
which
angels.
Text are you reading? Which text are you reading?
Read that of Luke.
Luke chapter what?
We shall be like angels. Be like angels in what manner? In what manner? That's what we are not dealing with.
Okay. Luke chapter what?
I don't know the passage actually until I check the passage.
But I've given you Matthew. I've read. Excuse me. The answer you said that you compare the three gospels. Excuse me. You said you compare the three gospels together. Fine.
Sorry.
Now I gave you Matthew 22. He said, excuse me. Let me respond. Okay. Luke. I've given you Matthew 22. Matthew said we are not going to marry. We are not going to be given in marriage. We'll be like angels. What do we mean by angels? We'll be in the spirit. We will not have this sexual urge. Now, that is the likeness of angels. The Bible is saying that.
No,
in
sir.
Luke, excuse me, so saying no, unless you want to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong by saying no. Prove me wrong now.
Read the text. You are not adding to your own words as well.
I'm not adding to it. I've read it. Let me read again for you. Verse 30. For Matthew 22, verse 30. For in the resurrection, they neither marry. What does that mean?
That's they neither marry as in the manner of this world. Yes.
Where do you see as in manner of this world? Where do you see that in the text?
That's what the question the we're asking.
They were not asking, excuse me. The text, okay.
You are not answering the question in light of the question asked by Sadducees.
Please show me where the text said they will be married. I'll show you they will neither marry. And give me the maybe you want to go to scholars. Maybe you have some scholar that said they will marry. Show me the scholar that says so. I agree with you.
That what?
That I agree with the explanation you are giving me. Show me the scholar. You like to show me scholars. Show me the scholar that agree with you. I will keep quiet. You said?
Also agree with me.
You said?
I say I have none that I can tell you offhand now.
Where do you get the interpretation? Where do you get the interpretation you are giving me? Where do you get the interpretation you are giving me? Where do you get the interpretation you are giving me?
Interpretation.
Where do you get the interpretation you are giving me?
Like I said, I have asked many Christians, and some have agreed this is the interpretation. And offhand now, I cannot give you a scholar, but I know there is. I cannot quote a scholar that says the same thing, but I know there is.
Where is it? Show me.
I say offhand now, I cannot give you offhand. Are you listening?
Okay. Now let me read Luke. I should go to Luke. Luke chapter 20, verse 34. Luke, the Luke you had said I should go to. I'm going to the Luke now. I've given you Matthew. This is Luke again.
Please,
And Jesus answered
I don't know if because my phone is
let me read this and we end it. Let me read this and we end it. Luke 20, 34. Right. And Jesus answering and said unto them, the children of this world marry and are given in marriage, but they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that word and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry nor are given in marriage. This is so clear. This is the text that I love most. In this world, we are marrying, but in the resurrection, we are not marrying, we are not giving in marriage. That silence your argument. I think I'm done. If you have any other thing to say, you have any other evidence? If you have any other evidences, you can bring it. Or if you don't have any other evidences, let's call it today.
Hello, can I say
don't
one
want
thing?
your exegesis. I want evidence. Give me evidences to support your claim. If you don't have it, let's call it today. If you have any evidence to prove me wrong, give me.
You see, people can be looking at one thing and look at it differently.
Okay, who are those that look at this differently? Give me the reference now. Give it to me.
Thank you. Like I said, I don't have any offhand. I
have
spoken to many Christians.
When will you have it? When you have it, can I call you back? When will you have it?
Yes. But can I say one thing before we go?
Go ahead.
You see, it says in this world we are given in marriage and we marry.
Yes.
But in life to come, we will neither marry, not be given in marriage.
Amen.
So if you look at this answer, in the light of the question of the Sadducees, the call will be clear that in the manner of this world, people are married and they're given in marriage.
Read verse 36. Read verse 36. It explains what it means by being. Neither can they die.
For me, read it.
Yes, verse 36 of Luke chapter 20. Neither can they die anymore, for they are equal unto angels and are the children of God, children of the resurrection.
Do you know why? Please
answer the question. Don't ask me.
Neither can they die means that in this world it is death that necessitates a man to have to marry the wife of his brother. But in the life, that death will not be there, and there will not be need for them to do the same thing in heaven.
Show me where the text said we have to marry. I want a text that says they will be marrying one another. Show me the text. That is what I'm asking you to do. Show me where the text. When you have the text, can I call you? When can I call you so that you can have the text to show me?
You are not answering in light of the question of the Sadducees.
Jesus now said, in the year after, we are not going to marry. It's so clear. When will you have your reference? I don't want to listen to your hearsay. When will you have the reference to support your claim? When will you have the reference to support your claim? When can I call you? When?
No problem.
When can I call you to have your reference to support your claim?
Then I will do some research on that, and then I'll come back.
Thank God you will do the research now. But you understand, you are typing as if you know what you are saying. Go and do the research and I will call you back. God bless you. Give me, I'm not asking you for. I have met many Muslims that have many divergent views. Give me the references. We ask them for the reference now. Those Christians you have met, ask them for the reference. Don't you ask them for the ask them. Go and meet them. Ask them for the references.
I promise you, I'll bring for you.
Please, I'll be glad.
Thank you so much.